I'm Kier from In Defense Of, a podcast member of the Gonna Geek Network, just like the one you're listening to now. The opinions expressed are those of each individual. Check out all the other podcasts at GonnaGeekNetwork.com and get ready, because geekiness begins in 3, 2, 1...
Stand by for a brand new episode of All Things Good and Nerdy.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode, I think this is 308, or is it 309? 309.
It's episode bullshit is what I'm going to call it.
Episode
309 is what I have. Mine does
Particularly-
not say episode bullshit.
Last week was bullshit is what I'm going to say.
Please explain to me why this last week was bullshit, Willie. The floor is yours.
By just a couple of syllabic sounds. No. That's bullshit. You guys can sing when I'm not there, a copyrighted song, but I can't at any point in time.
That was a parody.
Yes.
That was no parody. It's bullshit.
No, it was a parody. It falls under fair use with parody. The actual words of that song are not vagina couch. Ba-ba-da-ba. That's not the words to the
Vagina
By
couch.
the way, guess what's going to
Guess what's...
Did he break his mic again?
Guess what's getting sent to me?
The vagina couch?
Yeah, that's why it was off the thing, because I ordered it. They're sending
You're the
it to
one that
me.
ordered the vagina couch?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Willie's going to live in the vagina couch.
It's been his goal for a while.
It has been.
There's a couple ways to take this joke, but I'm not going to Buffalo Bill this.
Yes, so for those that are wondering what we're talking about, last week during the pre-show for episode 308, Naki was going through Craigslist in the Chicago area looking for free stuff on Craigslist when she happened upon a free couch that, no joke, was a giant vagina. And we were laughing about it. We shared it with everyone in the pre-show, and by the time the show had started, it was pulled off of Craigslist for some reason.
So, question, because couldn't listen to the pre-show because I was busy and I couldn't listen live. Did it have a built-in pillow for the clitoris?
It looked like it was all just like layered together. But yeah, like it was anatomically correct. Like it had labia, it had the clitoris, it had everything.
It was fairly
was-
purple, though.
Was
Yeah.
it flappy or was it an innie?
It was about average. Not huge, but not tiny
The
either.
real question we had that
Huge.
we never figured out is, A, why do you get a vagina couch? And B, did you have to get it custom made? Because I would
No,
assume...
the question is, why wouldn't you get a vagina couch? And yes, it had to be a custom-made job.
That's all I could assume. But,
I can't imagine there's a company making mass-produced vagina couches.
I mean, I'm kind of afraid to just Google the terms of vagina couch and see what happens. Because we saw what happened when we started Googling things like dick hats a few weeks ago. And then...
True.
Did you mean to search for casting couch?
that's probably what would come up.
I've seen that site.
Those sites are boring.
Willie says it's too fake for him. He can't
Yeah,
get into
it
the
is.
illusion of it.
It is way too much.
Oh, well.
Sorry, Willie. I guess your imagination can't
It's
handle...
terrible. That was terrible.
Your imagination is terrible.
Yeah, it is very terrible.
Willie,
Always
did you
needed.
watch it in 3D on your VR?
I haven't watched any kind of porn on the PlayStation VR because it takes too much work to get that to work to happen. It's too much for very little payoff.
There'd be no payoff for that, I don't think.
No, like, oh wow, I can look around this room. Oh wow, she's just going up and down. Okay. Oh, look at that plant over there.
And Suncast says he Googled vagina couch, and holy shit.
Yes, I would Google it and put up a screen share, but that would get us taken off of both Twitch, Mixer, and probably YouTube. So,
Yes, it
yeah.
would.
I can't do that for you. But if you decide you want to Google the term vagina couch, I can't stop you.
I mean, I wonder if they have a blue waffle couch.
No.
No, nobody wants to hear
No.
that. Say that. Be told. No.
Everyone Google that.
No,
No.
Willie. No, Willie. Bad Willie.
And now the people that
Man.
don't know what it is are curious.
Don't do it. That's all we're going to say. Just don't do it.
do it.
No, don't listen to Willie.
Dewey.
Willie will steer you wrong. We know this. Listen to Chris. Chris doesn't steer you wrong.
I'm sorry, Chris has a dickless Spider-Man beside him. I don't think you can listen to anything he says.
You what? You want it to be anatomically correct? You don't think that's even stranger?
I mean, a little something at the very least. Not just boom, nothing.
That's how,
I got him looking at the dick.
I had to check. I mean, he's kind of right, but look at all the superhero movies. I mean, these guys run around in spandex. You're not seeing junk outlines on everyone. Come on, Willie. We're not doing that.
I know they probably wear like jock straps where it kind of like covers it up. I mean, you're not gonna see an outline.
I know, because if they're smart, yeah, they're wearing a cup. Because if you just have an outline of a cock, you're gonna get kicked in it.
God, no wonder Spider-Man has terrible days. He has to wear a cup all day long.
Well, I mean, we saw him get changed in Homecoming. I mean, he just straight up took off everything, just in his boxers, and put on the suit.
Well, it's a Tony Stark suit, so it's probably reinforced over the crotch region so that you don't take as many shots there.
Built-in cup.
Yeah.
So you think Tony Stark asked him, "So how big are you?" So I know how to make this fit for
Well,
you.
the suit just shrinks to what it needs to be. I imagine same kind of premise.
It measures the body.
Wow,
Yeah.
it shrinks to you. So you're saying
It
Peter
conforms
Parker's
to the body.
not
Well,
fully developed.
No. What I'm saying is, look how giant that suit was until he pushed the button and it all cinched up to how it was supposed to be.
Yeah, but I mean,
The suit is snug. It's snug.
how well does it know to be big down there? I mean, we're getting the Mallrats territory here.
The back of a Volkswagen?
No, Willie's talking about orange dorks.
Yeah, I know.
And you think I can fit myself alone in the back of a Volkswagen?
Well, let's find out. Field
How we
trip.
gonna do that? All right.
Willie's done bad things to himself in the back of a Volkswagen.
Yeah, it's called Get Stuck.
I remember the tightest place I ever been was the back of a Trans Am.
Her name was Trans Am?
No, they made me sit in the back seat of the Trans Am. I took up the entire back seat because I can't put my legs because the seats don't go up far enough, so I have to lay down in the back of the seat.
Sure you do. Sure you do.
What does that mean, Chris?
I don't know. I don't think it means
Is this the
anything.
joke where you don't know where to go to?
I guess it could be, but I
It's
was
not
just
like
letting it
deep.
go.
There's lots of jokes that Chris doesn't know where to go to afterwards.
Well, that's true.
Chris gets flustered about the tiniest of things.
I don't know what you're talking about, Willie. I don't know what you're talking about.
Are you looking for a button to press?
I was
That's
looking to see if
usually
I had
good, too.
anything good on the soundboard to press. The soundboard I'm not updating because I try not to use it as much as I used to.
All right. Can we also talk about a little something? Because I was notified about Twitter earlier this week.
Notified
Apparently,
about Twitter.
Twitter is a thing, Willie. You should
Yes,
try it.
It has been.
yeah,
a
I
thing.
don't really go to it, but I got a notification that someone was mentioning me in a tweet, and apparently there's a whole divide about Team Willie and Team Naki. What is this?
Well, the folks in the Digital Soup podcast listened to the 3 episodes back episode where you two were kind of going at it pretty hard most of the episode.
Now, I did listen to Digital Soup episode 68, and
Yes.
he made me smile because he's on my side.
Who's he?
Names and voices, man. If I don't see you every day, I'm very bad at it.
See, you suck. See, I actually listen to him, follow someone on Twitter. I know that usually Dave's got my back because he knows I got more comic book knowledge than anybody on the network.
No, it's just my my like face and name. I just doesn't click unless I see you like over a couple of days. I have to see you like. I mean, I can distinctify the voice, but putting a name to it because they only say the names like once in the very beginning, and I'm like,
Yeah, sometimes
it's
it
my
is
memory.
tough.
It's
It is
my
tough if you
memory.
only listen. If you only listen to a podcast, sometimes it is tough.
I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about that. It's just in my memory, it's terrible. It's a personal problem,
Oh, Suncast says he doesn't know why anybody would be Team Willie.
just like gonorrhea.
Oh,
Because it has gonorrhea? Is that what you just said? I'm very
No.
no.
Team Willie's all about the gonorrhea. So
They make pills for those.
that's another reason to be Team Naki as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Team Clarence.
I'm sorry. I'm
Sailor
sorry,
Pole and his team Waggle Crotch.
This is not being negative to Naki, but I'm just saying she was anti-vagina couch. She did not get it. So
Well,
I'm just
she
gonna put that
doesn't
out.
need a vagina couch because she has a vagina.
So are you saying anytime she sits on the couch, it turns into a vagina couch?
No, I'm saying you don't need to go buy a giant
whoa.
penis couch because you have a penis.
Don't tempt him to do things he shouldn't do on the internet right now.
But that's
Close
what
up
I'm
this
here
window.
for, Chris. That's what I'm here
We
for.
don't want that. I don't want to get banned off of Twitch and YouTube and Mixer and all the
Willie
other
will
places.
get banned, not us. We're fine.
Penis.
Go on. You know you want to see all of the following episodes as Willie's broadcasting from a penis couch?
Wow.
Is it as good as a cape full of dicks?
So,
No,
Willie,
but-
what you have to do here to continue this illusion is describe what you're seeing to us, because we.
Oh,
can't
I
show
am.
it
I
to
was about
people.
to. I was going to say this is not what I was expecting. Not what I was expecting out. It's just a regular couch with just dildos coming up on each of the sections.
not-
So one designed just like the cape full of dicks.
Oh boy.
Now, do you know what my second favorite episode of Aqua Teen Hunger Force is?
I'm afraid to ask, but what is it?
I'm not sure if this was the title, but it should have been. I think it was called.
It was called "The Internet Dropped Me" because I searched for a penis couch.
Yeah, it's like
For
back in
those
the,
not watching live, Willie just disappeared from our hangout. So
it's like back in the day when I ripped on Comcast, and then all of a sudden my internet dropped out.
Yeah, I need to be careful and not talk shit about Cable One because apparently they're raising my bill $30 a month for no reason.
Oh, there we go. I think.
Yes, you're back now. So, what was your second favorite episode of Aqua Teen Hunger Force, Willie?
Now, I'm not sure if this was the correct title, but it should have been. I think it was called the Dickisode. And there was a Professor Wang, I think his name was trying to make a rocket ship made of dicks. And he was doing it from his like fast food place where you could like peel off a little prize like the Monopoly thing at McDonald's and say, and I think Carl won it. And he peeled off, said, "You have won the right to get your dick ripped off." I don't think I want that prize.
I'm gonna throw that away.
And so they're just waiting for that one more dick that Carl's won, and they're waiting for it. And all his little minions are like, and he's like, and the Dark Wing's like, "Why does he not want to get his prize?" And one of his minions goes, "Maybe he's just dicking around."
I do love Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Second favorite episode, of course.
Then I just have to ask the follow-up before we move on. What's your favorite episode of Aqua Teen Hunger Force, Willie?
This one I know is called The Shavening. It's because they find out they have another roommate who lives in the attic that they never knew about.
I vaguely remember this one. It's been a
He
while
was
since I've seen them.
He was an onion. He was like an onion with like spider legs, and he was a nice guy. And do you remember what his name was?
I really don't know.
His name was Willie Nelson.
Was it really?
Yes. And he's like,
There are
"Oh,
too many
by the way, do you have any of my mail?" I was like, "Oh, yeah, we just kind of throw those away." He's like, "Oh, okay, that's cool." Walks over to their TV, throws it out the window. "Oh, this wasn't mine, so I just threw it away."
I do love Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Now I want to go and watch it, and I don't know where I can.
I mean, I have 3 seasons of it right here.
That doesn't help me right now because
I think I've randomly seen like 2 episodes.
I had 4, but I don't know where the fourth. I don't know where the
It's
other
a
one
crazy show.
is.
I remember it being very,
Shavening
very
is
weird.
somewhere.
And I remember there being a meat wad.
It's Adult Swim, so I mean, you know it's going to be weird.
Oh, I better still have that one. Where it's all those. That's every episode was. Yep, here it is. Nope, it's not it. God, yeah, it is. And The Shavening was the last episode of season 3.
There you go. So Willie's going to go and watch that as soon as this ends, I think.
How long did that show last?
Oh God,
I don't know. It got its own movie.
It got its own movie, and then the problem was they started renaming all of the seasons each year. So
Oh,
instead of
yeah,
being like
yeah.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force, it was like Aqua Teen whatever, and they changed stuff up. So
Yeah,
DVRs
I never
would never
watched
catch it.
Never
Ooh.
watched after that. But
That's annoying.
God, I'm trying to remember the title of the movie. Aqua Teen Hunger Force : movie film for theaters.
Something like that, yeah.
And it just they did that just to make movie viewers say colon.
Evidently, it's on Hulu, it sounds like.
Oh, good. Wait, the
Maybe.
show or the movie?
The show. I'm looking to see right now.
Never saw the movie.
The movie
I think if
was
I remember correctly, Adult Swim actually showed it the week it came out in like a tiny little box.
Yes, on
During-
April Fool's Day.
That's right. It was like just a tiny little box. You can't hear it, but you can see it.
So here's the good news, guys. I just checked. There are 11 seasons of Aqua Teen Hunger Force on Hulu. 138 episodes.
Holy fuck.
Starting with episode 1, and then when it became Aqua Unit Patrol Squad 1, then Aqua Something You Know Whatever, Aqua TV Show, Aqua Teen Hunger Force Forever. There's various incarnations of it.
Kind of
Wow,
sounds like
so
how
they
Archer
were-
started going.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
were
without
that
the
annoying
naming.
and they kept going. That's insane.
That was Adult Swim, man. This is stuff that shows. This is stuff that was showing when I was in college. That I remember being at a house party, and it was like 11:30 at night, and we had multiple beers in us, and they'd be like, "Let's watch Aqua Teen," and it was the funniest
Yeah.
stuff ever because of the state of mind we are in. Is that the best way to put it for a college
Because of your
reference?
Oh, yeah.
level of intoxication.
Yes.
I mean, they had such good shows back then. C Lab 2021. Oh god, just so many of them.
It's good stuff.
Oh, Squidbillies. Squidbillies.
I never got into Squidbillies.
Oh god, it was so good.
It wasn't my thing, but now I want to go and watch Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and we have Hulu right now, so maybe I'll do that.
I'm sorry, Sarah Poland, but 12-ounce mouse. I could never get into that. It was just too nonsensical for me. And that's saying something.
True. Hulu's been good. I just finished watching all of the Key and Peele episodes, and I restarted. They added the second season of Preacher, so I restarted and rewatched all of season 1, and now I'm finally watching season 2 of Preacher. I fucking love that show.
I haven't seen any of it.
Rogan and his boy Adam Goldberg, like they've done a fantastic job with that show.
I just
Freaking
want to watch
Saint
Aqua
of
Teen Hunger
Killers is
Force, guys.
Awesome.
That's all I want to
You're
do
welcome.
now.
You're welcome.
And I had an urge to watch Community right now, too, and both of those are on Hulu. I'm going to lose all my free time. Man.
You had free time to give up.
Not a ton. I've been playing video games lately and doing housework and yard work. I have to be a productive adult. But that's a later part of the show. We didn't even talk about that crap right now.
Playing video games is not that bad.
What we need to talk about is the news of the week.
need.
Live from the ATGN studios on the internet, it's the news of the week.
Don't roll your eyes at me, Willie. That was actually a good transition for once. At least it wasn't bad.
It was all right.
It was all right. But welcome, guys,
Yeah,
to
I'll
the
give you
news of the
that.
week. This is the part of the show where instead of us just kind of BSing about all sorts of random stuff, we run down what was in our minds, at least the coolest, geeky, or nerdy news that have happened in the past week. And Willie, I know you don't have news, but you have first impressions on something that just came out, and I think that's close enough. You had some stuff to tell us about the new God of War.
Oh yeah. I'm not 100% on how far into it I am. I think I'm about just under the halfway mark because I've already got spoiled a little bit and what happens halfway. I'm not gonna spoil that. But yeah, God of War. Holy shit. Bachman, have you played it at all?
No, but I know a lot of motherfuckers that I'm friends with on the PlayStation Network have played it because all I keep seeing is trophies popping up for it.
Whoo boy, this game is Chris, go ahead and tell them what kind of reviews it's been getting.
9.9s and 10s, and I think the lowest I've seen was a 9.5 when I looked at one point in time.
I mean, it's not a 10 for me personally, but I can see how it is a 10 for a lot of people. Like I said,
When we get to the what I've been into, I'll tell you how far back behind in gaming I am. So, yeah, I got some catching up to do.
hey, if you want to buy those the Marvel Ultimate Alliance games, I'll play with them through them with you.
Those
You
I don't
do?
actually have.
Oh, you should get them. Do you remember them?
Yeah, I played them. Yeah, I played them all. I played the X-Men Legends games like when it started off. Yeah, because I loved the X-Men Legends games. When I heard they were doing a Marvel version of that, I was stoked.
Oh yeah, I got both of them on the PS4. But Kratos. It starts up strong.
Is he still called Kratos, or
Yes,
is it?
this is like a soft reboot. From what I hear and from what I've played, they don't really explain how he got from God of War 3 to the Norse mythology at all. It's not even a big plot point. It's just he's here now.
They're like, hey, he's a Viking. Go.
Yep.
Okay.
This woman died, and his son, the mother. They don't really fully explain it. I'm not even fully sure if this is his son. I'm just going with it. They're saying it's his son. So
or if he's just babysitting.
Or I don't,
the greatest adventure in babysitting ever.
He's not his son. He's his boy. Because, oh my God, he just says, boy, translate this. Boy, shoot him. Just boy this and boy that.
Maybe his name is Boy.
No, his name is Atreyu. Or Atreyu. Atreus.
Atreyu? He better watch out. His horse is going to die.
I guess his horse would be Kratos because that's his. The only thing I'm really gonna spoil is you guys, because it happens in the near the very beginning. You look up this YouTube video of the stranger fight in God of War. Starts up with like someone just knocking on his door as soon as they get back home, and he tells the boy to hide, and you hear the voice saying, "I know who you are." And he's like, and he's about to go to the door. He's like, "More importantly, I know what you are." And he goes out, and it's this poor man's Conor McGregor out there. Oh, you'll see it. And he's talking about, you need to get out of here. And he some words, and then he slaps Kratos, just a backhand slap.
Nice.
And he just goes, doesn't move except for his head just a little bit. And then more words, and he gives Kratos a good combination of 1, 2, 3 punches. And then the fourth one, he just stops it with his hand and punches the stranger right to the ground. One good punch.
Nice.
Stranger says, "Oh, about time we did something like this," and just stands up and gives him one good uppercut, and Kratos goes flying over the house.
Damn.
So you know something's going on here. Like, this happens like
just a regular person.
Yeah, this is like right after the intro, so it's not that much of a spoiler. His name is the stranger in the very beginning, so that doesn't even give away anything either. But you're going. But as I'm going through, you're opening up these things that kind of tell you like mythology stories and whatever. Mm-hmm. And later on, you get and the boy is reading them, translating them to the back because they're just pictures, like hieroglyphs, kind of, but North mythology ones. He's kind of translating them like, I guess this like this, and this is the story of this. And then later on, you get a character that actually tells you the true stories of them, and you find out all these gods of Odin and Thor are just assholes. You hear the true stories, like, yeah, these are just pricks.
Well, yeah. They were gods that kicked ass.
No, they were just like pricks for some of the things. There's this one point I'm actually in now where there's this giant, and he had an argument. I think the story was he had an argument with his son or something, and he's like, oh, I feel bad. So he went out to look out for his son. He's like a giant, and apparently Thor just saw him and said, I'm going to kill him, and killed him. And his dead body just fell into a city, and the city's no more.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And so you're having to go through the city underneath like his body, and you literally have to move one of his rings, like a gigantic ring, to twist something to get through a part.
See, that's when you're glad that there's not smell-o-vision yet.
Oh, yeah, but the scale of this thing. Well, he's frozen, so, I mean, it probably wouldn't smell.
You're running around under a rotting corpse that's laying across the tops of thousands of rotting corpses. It wouldn't smell good.
Yeah. But his weapon, the Leviathan axe of Kratos, he gets from the woman that died. I'm not sure if it's a wife or just someone he was. I don't know. They don't really fully explain this yet. So I'm just going from what I know. But he got it from her, and this axe just like Thor's hammer, where you can aim it and throw it at somebody, and you press triangle, and it'll come right back to you.
Nice.
So you can have so you can fight with the axe, or if you throw it, you can actually fight without it with your fist. It very versatile. Like, and the boy's always there. It's not an escort mission at all. He can fire arrows and help you out all the time. You don't really have to pay attention to him too much because he just does his little thing. And sometimes he'll jump on the back of an enemy and kind of distract him a whole lot.
So he's all AI controlled. You're not having to like give him commands as you're going into each fight.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Not at all. Like when you're fighting, you just have to press square, like, and he'll fire an arrow at whichever like enemy you're kind of facing.
Okay, that's
and
not
the
bad.
arrows have to reload. Like, it has like 3 arrows at the very beginning. You can quick fire 3 and boom, boom, boom. But then you have to wait like a little timer for each one to get back up before you can fire another one. But you
That's
can
not
store
bad,
up to
yeah.
3.
I was wondering when it looks like it's a dual setup character, how you have to control the other one, because that's always a question.
Oh, it's not that intuitive at all. Or and you also later on you get like a little power up ability where you can actually send like spirit animals out from his bow, and you just hold down square to activate that. So it's not that much of a big deal. Like your attacks are with R1 and R2.
So
that's how your
really,
attacks.
is it basically just one long escort mission with the kid? Because Sailor Poland was saying he hates escort missions, and it sounds like it's just a giant escort mission.
Well, I mean, the whole basic story is when it starts out, you're chopping in wood to burn the woman that died. So like give her like a
Viking
cremation.
funeral.
Yeah, cremation, and then you're taking her ashes, and her last wish was to have them scattered across the the highest point. And that's the whole mission, is like you're taking the son or the boy. Taking him up to he's going with you to spread the ashes. That's the whole thing. It's not an escort. He does his own thing. He's there, but you never have to really escort him anywhere.
So it's
Like,
an escort storyline, but it doesn't
Yeah.
play like an escort mission.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
He is capable of himself.
Yeah, because if you told me the whole game was an escort mission, yeah, I would be like one of the first people, like Sailor Pull, I'd be like, nope, not fucking doing
Yeah.
it.
It's
Dale.
kind of like The Last of Us. Ellie's always there with you, but you don't have to, like keep up with all the time.
So BioShock Infinite-esque, the way Elizabeth is, kind of thing.
Never played it, so I can't tell you.
It sounds like it's similar to BioShock Infinite in that regard, where you can call on her to help you from time to time during the game, but for the most part, she is your companion and is rarely in danger.
Oh yeah. So it's no Resident Evil 4. Let me go like that.
Oh, fair.
Oh no, the fucking president's already getting carried away again. God damn it.
I hate ones like that.
Yeah, it's not like that at all.
So
Don't worry
Willie,
about
you
it.
think you're about halfway through. Would it be fair to say that you've been enjoying it? Does it live up to the hype that seems to have come out with it?
I mean, with that much hype on it, it's hard to say, but it's on up there. It is one of the best of the year so far, by far.
It's high praise.
Like Far Cry 5, that was a damn good game, but this one, it just the amount of polish. I will say there's something weird I've noticed that every day this week it has gotten an update, like a little minor update, like version 1.3, version 1.4. Now it's up to version 1.17. Oh yeah, 1.17.
That's just the
what it's up
nature
to.
of games today anymore, I think.
No, but every
day, just to emphasize that for you as Willie froze. What I would be curious to ask, and when Willie unfreezes,
okay.
okay, he's unfrozen now. So how big do you think these updates were, if you had to guess? 'Cause-
No, very minuscule. They're very minor bug fixes, is what they call them.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, then at least they're on top of fixing bugs, because I read reports of the South Park, The Fractured But Whole came out for the Switch this last week, and there is...
God.
I'm only bringing it up because people have been talking about on the Switch Reddit that there's been issues where when they bring the game up, there's a game-breaking glitch that if you run into, it basically freezes the game and you can't unlock it ever again. You're stuck, your progress is screwed up, and it's just a game killer. And people have been complaining about it to Ubisoft, like, oh, we'll patch it eventually, when they go on onto their chat threads and stuff like that. So I guess what a couple of folks had said is they were complaining to Nintendo to try and get them to push Ubisoft on it. Nintendo sent Ubisoft support some complaints on it, and then said, well, we feel bad that your game's not working out the way you want. And they gave these people that complained like free first-party games. Like, here's a download code for either like Mario Odyssey or Zelda or something like that. Because like you obviously can't play South Park right now.
I do want to say I'm not saying it's annoying. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying it's weird to see that. Like, oh, okay, it's a little weird. It's every day. That's the only thing I mean.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, in today's world, if you want to be able to put out small patches like that, they're probably small enough that these things download in the background. You don't even notice it, and you're like, oh, new version. What the hell?
Even with my internet, it takes like 20 seconds to download.
So we're talking probably like 100 megs or less in one of those updates is my guess.
And they are talking about like a free update later on, like a full on update to where they add a camera mode.
Interesting.
Yeah, so they are talking about that.
So, and I think my friends would like that over Overwatch every month giving you a 20 gig download.
I would say every 2 months, every big event. And it was only 12 gigs.
Well, and the problem is with those kind of games, there's going to be never-ending patches like that because they add new maps, they add new weapons, they add new character packs. The enticement to that game is the fact that we hook you the first time, then we keep adding more so that you keep playing and want to invest in our ecosystem.
More for free.
Yes. You get more that way that encourages you to keep playing the game and to potentially engage in microtransactions for stuff. Because that would you don't have skins and stuff, right?
Yeah, it's just skins. Yeah. That's all it is. Or in emotes and things. But of course, it's all random about what you get. But you don't need any of it. It does not affect the gameplay at all.
Right. So I think the takeaway.
There are
go ahead.
No microtransactions in God of War.
That's what I was going to ask. So
Absolutely
Willie,
zero.
If you have to give it the official Willie Nelson thumbs up or thumbs down at this point for God of War, what do you give it?
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs way up or just up?
Way up, sure. Let's go way up.
I was trying to go Siskel and Ebert on you. I'm sorry.
Best game of the year so far.
Wow, that's high praise indeed. Granted, we're only like almost 5 months through the year, so there's a lot more stuff to come.
April, right?
Yes.
Almost May. I do want to mention this as well too. Like, there's that line from EA saying, "Yeah, single player games just isn't what people are wanting now." What's that? What's that? Far Cry 5? I'm sure there's a multiplayer mode in it, but whatever. It's mostly a single player game. There's God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, Spider-Man coming out.
Yeah, I was gonna say like 50 million pre-orders for Spider-Man. Plenty of people want single player games.
Yeah.
Honestly, as much as I'm enjoying Overwatch, I actually really enjoy just hopping in a sandbox game and not having to listen to people complain.
Yeah. Look at Nintendo's biggest sellers right now on the Switch. It's Mario, it's Zelda. They're all single player games where you're on your own. There's still a great draw for that. That's not to say it must only be single or it must only be multiplayer. Guys, we can have all sorts of games. But
this is Nintendo. They're not known for multiplayer.
I mean, that's also fair too. Although Splatoon 2 is a pretty good multiplayer game on
Splatoon!
Nintendo console.
You take your squid tentacle porn out of here.
Have you actually played Splatoon 2? It's pretty fun. They just put the new 3.0 update out a couple weeks back.
I'm sure it is fun, but I don't know. I have not played it.
Well,
I will. How about this? If I ever do get a Switch, I will get Splatoon 2 with it, and I'll even play with you.
Wow. I haven't played Splatoon 2 in like 3 months. I better start practicing.
You got time.
That's what I figured too. Just like you got time before you have to worry about me getting a PS4, I think.
Hey, but I think they did come out with the best cause for you to even get it. It would be this Spider-Man game.
Spider-Man game looks great. God of War sounds really good, but I don't have the time to play the games I have right now, so I can't really justify buying a console to play more games I don't have time to play.
Sailor Pullen asked if any of us have seen Bethesda's PSA with Linda Carter. Did anybody see that?
I did not.
I don't.
Oh,
I think
it was during E3 or the Video Game Awards. I remember seeing it. Yeah, it was like all about like save the single player games or something like that. Pretty much making fun of EA.
Yeah,
oh, okay. I'll have to go find that video then. That sounds.
I can't remember what event it was during though.
I don't know, but we'll figure it out. Let's move on to the next story here. I'm going to go next. My story will be relatively short. But we've talked about on this show before, MoviePass. It's a service that I've greatly enjoyed because for $10 a month, I can go and see all the movies I want. Except now if you sign up, you can't get the all-you-can-eat movies version of MoviePass. Why might that be? Well, because a lot of financial experts went out there and said, these guys are losing money hand over fist. We're not really sure how economically viable they are. So now they're scrambling, and they're coming with new ways to try and make money because, hey, I don't know about you guys. If I have to pay $10 a month and kind of watch 30 movies, I'll probably go to the movies 4 or 5 times a month at least. And after the first movie, it's paid for itself. So it seems like a lot of people were doing that. And Anthony, I think you talked about on the show either last week or the week before that you'd been considering MoviePass and you went online and the deal had changed. It was like pay $30 up front. You can watch 4 movies a month and you get access to iHeartRadio's premium stuff.
Yeah.
I already got Spotify.
Yeah, I already have Google Play Music, so that wouldn't matter to me either.
I don't pay for music. I have a radio in my kitchen.
I have Pandora too, but
or I listen to free Spotify.
well, there's that.
There you go.
So now it seems like MoviePass has started to change how they're doing things, and they're starting to lock things down to it's either 2 or 4 movies a month. I've heard both things bandied about. The CEO was asked if they're ever going to bring the all-you-can-consume movie package back, and without directly saying it, basically said no. Here's the catch, though. If you're someone who got in already on the all-you-can-eat movie version, you're still in until the company goes bankrupt. Because my concern from the very beginning was, boy, I don't know how long they're going to be able to monetize this. And I'm on a pay-per-month plan. I didn't pay a year in advance like a lot of folks did. So if the business folds tomorrow, I don't care. I stopped paying them $9.95 a month, and I've enjoyed watching a bunch of movies over that time. It's an interesting model. I think it was always going to be hard to maintain, and I think the proof is in the pudding here that it's hard to maintain. Their customer service sucks, so a lot of people are just like, I'm not going to deal with this now. And those that are dealing with it are making them bleed money hand over fist. So guys, rest in peace, potentially MoviePass. I'm sure they'll keep trying to figure out ways to reinvent themselves to stay alive. They have competitors that have popped up. There's one that's called like Cinema, Sinema, that I think is $6.95 a month, or is it $8.95 a month, that gives you 2 movies per month, which again isn't terrible. If you go and see one movie, basically it's paid for itself. There are a few competing services out there, but none were quite as broad as MoviePass is. Pay us $10 a month, you can watch a new movie every day if you want. So sorry,
and
guys.
it was a hell of a business model. I wish I'd got in on that first year.
Yeah.
And
The real question is how much longer can it last? And it seems like those that are experts in this kind of thing, which I am no economic expert or anything like that, seem to think that the writing is on the walls, that MoviePass is not going to be around much longer. So if you have one, use it while you can. Use it within the terms of service, though. Don't be one of those D-bags who tries to buy like 6 movies on your MoviePass in one day, or buys a bunch of popcorn and stuff on all in one transaction, because that's what's ruining it for everyone.
Because they're trying to use the card ways that you're not supposed to?
Yeah, pretty much. There are some folks, because when you check into something, it basically allocates some money to your account, which is probably more than what the ticket is. So say I'm going to the theaters, it might put, say, $25 on there. My movie costs $12. If I buy the movie and the popcorn all at one time, it looks like one transaction. So theoretically, you could game the system that way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There were people that were gaming it. There are some folks that are asked to actually take photos of their ticket stub after they bought the ticket. It was only a small group of people, and it randomly rotated. But there are people that have been gaming the system on MoviePass, which is part of the problem, and is against the terms of service, by the way. So you can lose your access to MoviePass if you get caught.
Okay. Because did it have limits for like IMAX and 3D and stuff?
Yeah.
IMAX and 3D are not covered under MoviePass. Now,
Can you pay like an extra, like,
Nope.
I don't know, $4 or $5 to be upgraded, like for a movie?
Nope.
So you don't even have the option to even see
No.
it.
But if you wanted to violate terms of service, you could check into another movie. You could buy a ticket to another movie and then just go straight to the IMAX showing or something like that. But that's a
don't know if
violation
that's-
of terms of
I don't know if
service.
it's violating terms of service. I think it's just, paying for one movie and going to another theater.
Which you can't do at the Edwards here that is by my house because they have the IMAX in a separate building.
Yeah, smart move.
I mean, I've only done that once. What movie? Well, I think it was for Resident Evil. I think because I wasn't 17 at the time and it was rated R. And
You
yeah,
rebel.
I was like, I'll get this.
I don't think
other-
I don't think I was ever asked for like an ID for an R-rated movie till I was like in my mid-20s.
I think the only reason I did it is because they did it for someone, like a couple of people in front of me who were trying to get tickets. And I was like, shit.
And so you're like, one for Garfield, please.
No joke.
They say sometimes, like when Deadpool came out, they said sometimes that's where an R movie will lose money is in the theaters is because kids that want to see it will pay to go see Smurfs, and then they'll actually go in and see Deadpool.
That's how I saw Spawn when I was a kid. I wasn't old enough to see Spawn, so I bought a ticket for something else and went to Spawn.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember my mom took me that. Oh, that was a good time.
I don't know how much of a percentage that really does, on the blockbusters, but there is still a small percentage of people that do that, like, nationwide, just because you tell kids they can't see something, if they really want to see it, they're going to find a way to see it.
That is
Yeah,
exactly the truth.
Yeah,
No.
I didn't get to go to the theater that much as a kid, so that's why I love to do it now. Yeah, that was one of the few movies I remember seeing in the theaters as a kid was Spawn. Oh God, another one was Blank Check. Why?
I don't even remember that one.
That was like
It's the
some
one-
Nickelodeon stuff.
No, it was like where the kid he like goes to the bank to cash out like his grandma's like birthday check, and then he's leaving the bank and someone accidentally backs into him, and the guy just hands him a check like, here you go, and it's a blank check by accident, and he just writes, I think, I don't know, 10 million or something, 1 million or something like that, and he goes to cash it out, and apparently it's a whole thing where the guy who did it was like a criminal, and he was like he's in with like the bank manager to try and steal the money from it. Oh,
And like they were laundering money and the kid emptied the account.
oh shit, I think Tone Loc was in it too. That's the third movie Tone Loc was in the 90s.
I honestly don't remember, but this wraps up our conversation for MoviePass. Use it while you can because the writing is on the wall that the service might not be out there much longer. So Bachman, wrap us up. What do you got for us?
I got a little. There was a comic book that came out a bit ago that I got on Kickstarter called Black. For those that didn't get it, see, the team was, sorry about the name because this one's tough for me. Kwanzaa Osajafe or Osajafo was the writer, with Tim Smith 3, Jamal Igle, Carrie Randolph, and Sarah Litt were the team on it. Jamal did the artwork throughout the book. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous comic. But this was a crazy premise where it's a world where a kid gets shot by cops in the opening scene and then wakes up in an ambulance and realizes he's not dead. Goes running off, and then all of a sudden these people are chasing him down. And, of course, as a reader, you're trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. Kid realizes he has superpowers. 2 different groups are chasing him. One gets a hold of him, and he discovers that the world's biggest conspiracy that's been around for millennia is that the only people in the world that have superpowers are black people. And so the whole conceit of the book is actually like an evil organization that's trying to capture black people and use them. And it's fucking fantastic. It's a great comic, super good read. The artwork's awesome. And Seth Mann with Studio 8 is going to adapt Black into a comic book, and they're already shooting for it to be a franchise because there's a second book out called Black AF. And so they're moving forward with trying to do Black and then Black AF as a series of movies.
Oh,
And-
movies. All right.
Yeah, as movies. And yeah, so the good thing is that it's a fantastic story, so it should make for a really good movie. There's lots of different superpowers in it, really cool characters. Some of the characters designed are just fantastic. And then yeah, it's the bad guy actually runs. If I remember correctly, it's the Man Corporation. So it literally is they're actually fighting the Man, which is fucking hilarious. And he's just this prick white dude, and it's it's a rich white asshole that's trying to capture black people and use them. But yeah, it's super cool comic. Some awesome use of superpowers in ways that I hadn't seen before, which is really cool because you don't see that often when you get a giant battle, with like 2 groups of superheroes. But yeah, it's if people thought that Black Panther pissed off some racists, wait till you see a movie where there's a world where the only people that have superpowers are black people. But yeah, it's kind of in response to Hollywood had always said a lot of times that a colored lead couldn't open a big blockbuster, and well, Black Panther made everybody that ever said that shut the fuck up, because Black Panther is now the 3rd highest grossing movie of all time, and it broke almost all the records.
At least
So-
for another month until Infinity
Yeah.
War moves up the
But-
charts.
Infinity War's killing it and had one of the biggest Friday openings ever, but that still doesn't guarantee that over the long run it'll pass Black Panther
true.
in the number 3 spot.
That's quite
Because yeah,
true.
Infinity War, yeah, it's having a huge weekend. It's gonna make $1 billion. That's a given. But whether or not it has the legs that Black Panther held the theater for so long is a different story. So we'll see on that. But either way, even if Infinity War does kill it, that's still only gonna move Black Panther down to 4th all time. So yeah, a movie with a black lead can definitely open and kill worldwide and domestic. And so yeah, this studio is putting their money behind a really good script. The only thing I was a little sad to see is that they are already using the word franchise and saying that they want to do black and then black AFs, which is black as fuck. So the idea that they're going into it with a franchise idea, that's the only thing that scares me, because we've seen, what was it? The Dark Universe. Universal failed 5 times to make a new Universal Monsters universe because they went in with the idea of a franchise instead of let's make a great movie and build on it. And as we all went to see fucking Avengers 3 this weekend, it was not because Iron Man was a franchise. It's because Jon Favreau wanted to make a good Iron Man film. That built over 10 years to create a giant franchise. But I hope they do it right. It's a great story, and yeah, Jamal's characters in it and his artwork will make us for some really cool on-screen stuff. So it's one that I hope they do right, and I hope we get to see it in the theater, because yeah, Black would be a killer movie, and there will be no greater film for pissing off racists than a movie where the only people with superpowers are black people. And yeah, if you haven't checked out the comic, it's on Comixology. I can't remember. I think it's only 6 issues in the first trade. The trade itself is really good. I think there's a website for just the comic itself on Black Mass Studios. Yeah, really good book. I loved it, and yeah, it's mature. Lots of blood and some gore, and some people getting killed. So it's superhero, but it's also really violent. It's not for kids. It's definitely. I mean, there's one of the covers was literally a lynching. So I mean,
oh damn,
this is some serious story material that they're going with here. Like, it doesn't pull punches. It's full on. It's adult as in an adult book, not as in like a porn adult, but it is an adult comic. Yeah,
adult
it is for mature audiences only, for sure. Definitely not for kids, but it is a really great comics. Yeah, I would highly recommend it. And yeah, hopefully, with the Deadline article, it looks like they're making what should be a really good film. So I'll be excited to see it, because man, it was a good story, and yeah, it'll be another movie that'll make motherfuckers talk. People will be talking if this hits the theaters, because it will get a ton of attention, and it'll bring the racists out of the fucking woodwork.
Oh, I don't doubt that one bit. But that does sound like something interesting. I will probably go and check that out and pick up the stuff on Comixology. But that does wrap up the news of the week. However, we do promise to talk a little bit about Avengers Infinity War in a spoiler-free discussion. But before we do that, I had to pull up Box Office Mojo, because I heard there might be some Disney on Disney crime happening here. And what I mean by that is that original projections for Infinity War's opening weekend were about 245 million. Bear in mind that The Force Awakens was $247.9 million it pulled opening weekend. Box Office Mojo now has Infinity War trending towards $250 million, taking the Star Wars crown away for the biggest opening weekend. Holy crap.
Wow. Yeah, is that surprising to anybody?
It does, because Star Wars The Force Awakens was kind of a lightning in a bottle kind of thing. You had a lot of folks like, I never thought I'd see another Star Wars movie again in my life, or I want my kids to be able to see a Star Wars movie on the big screen, versus, and I don't mean this disparagingly, but versus it's the 18th movie in the Marvel series.
Yeah, plus you're also talking about 30 years of nostalgia versus roughly 10 years of nostalgia. So there's one generation of kids that grew up on the Marvel films. There's 3 or 4 generations of kids that have grown up and had their parents show them Star Wars, since the kids that saw Star Wars in the theater. So it had a much bigger nostalgia draw to it. And Star Wars, I think, is more universal than Marvel, because, well, there's not, I mean, Star Wars versus Star Trek isn't really the same as Marvel versus DC, but it's been a bigger thing for a longer time and has a much bigger reach.
I just like the fact we have Disney on Disney crime here.
That is a great way to put it. Yeah, because it's crazy. Yeah, because I think Avengers has already had the biggest Thursday and biggest Friday?
It had the biggest Friday, and was it the biggest Thursday, or was it close to the biggest Thursday? I can't remember.
It might have just been close to it. Either way, I
think
it's
Star
already
Wars
made
beat it on Thursday.
It already made a ton of money.
When I was at the theater on Thursday night, our showing was sold out. All of these showings that night were sold out. They were coming in. They're like, if you have a seat open next to you, we need you to scoot down so that groups can sit together. And I kind of looked at them. I was like, then maybe they shouldn't come to a movie 5 minutes before it starts on opening night. I'm not moving.
Yeah, those people that do that when
yeah.
there's not assigned seats, F those people.
Yeah. And they were like literally trying to move people. I was like, no. Their own fault is they didn't show up until 5 minutes before a movie was supposed to open. I showed up 50 minutes before the movie started so I could get the seat I wanted.
Yeah, see, I like having the assigned seats at the VIP that I go to, which actually I was surprised the first showings were at 11:30, and so I was waiting to find out if a friend was going to go with me, and the first row got sold out in the VIP, so I was like, oh, I'll just go to the second showing, no big deal. It's not on the giant screen, but it's still the big screen. It's still the VIP. Bought the first 2 seats in the front middle row, and then when I checked it the day of, there were 4 seats in the third row behind us, and that was it. By the time the movie started, there was maybe 8 more people in the VIP. Like the VIP of the second showing, not on the giant screen at my theater, was almost empty. Like it was insane.
What exactly is the VIP?
It's the VIP at the Village Theater I go to. It's on the balcony. They have 3 more rows of seats that you go upstairs to get to, and it's 21 and above because they serve alcohol and food. And so yeah, it's awesome because there's a soundproof wall behind the main audience below you. So you never hear the crowd unless it's like a full laugh at a part of a movie, and there's no children allowed up there because they serve alcohol. So there's no kids in that 3 row seats. So I pay the extra $4 just to not have to sit in near anybody's kids.
That sounds glorious.
One question.
It's fantastic.
Question about alcohol consumption in your state. Are you able to buy alcohol before? No, that's only on Sundays, isn't it? Before noon. Is that it?
I think Idaho still has
Sundays.
some towns where alcohol is not sold on Sundays.
Yeah, it's 7:00 every other day. Never mind, that makes sense.
Yeah, just beer and wine. But yeah, in the theater you can order whatever you want, and they have a full bar.
Yeah, I know. In my state, North Carolina, when 7 a.m. you like after it cutoff is 2 a.m. except for Sundays, you can't rebuy it till noon on Sundays. But every other day is 7 a.m.
They want you to go to church.
I guess so. Fuck those people. Yeah, but yeah, it was so awesome working third shift at a grocery store at 1:59, seeing people rush in to try and buy beer because I won't even let me scan it. It says you cannot sell this.
Oh wow, like it actually blocks it.
Yep.
Oh, I never knew that.
I've had people try to barter with me to get. I was like, man, I'm not getting in trouble for this shit.
Yeah, I don't
losing
think
my job because you're an alcoholic.
I don't think we can sell alcohol on Sundays here until like 2 p.m. or something like that because similar things. I don't know the lead.
I do know it's noon because I've also had people try to buy beer at like 11:50 on Sundays. Like, sorry, man, you gotta wait 10 minutes. Like, what the fuck is this bullshit?
Yeah,
I need my beer.
I need my beer right now. Blah, blah, blah. Nah, I get you. So
Yeah.
we got like 5 minutes here. Let's talk spoiler-free, no spoilers. Avengers Infinity War. Did we like it? Was it good?
Talk about spoiler free is the hard part because yeah, I enjoyed the hell out of it. Like it was like we talk about the culmination of a bunch of storylines coming together. Like wow, I heard somebody say that the Russos basically used Civil War as a rough draft. Can we put 10 characters on screen at once and make it all work? And then they're like, okay, now we'll do 40, and they fucking nailed it. Like. I mean, there's so little time for every character on screen because there's so many of them. But at the same time, I didn't leave the theater feeling like any character was underused. Like every character got at least a little bit of screen time. Like the way they put it together was fantastic. And honestly, the only thing I was a little bummed out about was there was a few CGI shots that I felt were a little rushed. Where I'm sitting there watching like a group shot and like 3 people you can tell are fully CGI. And I'm looking at it going, I know you weren't wearing a costume that day. Like, completely. Like, okay, this could have used a couple more passes of, the magic CGI smoothing glove or whatever the fuck they do to make it look like it's actually part of reality.
They'll do it for the Blu-ray release.
Probably. Yeah, I loved it. I enjoyed the hell out of this movie. And yeah, I think it's going to be this generation's Empire Strikes Back.
I like how Draftsman put it. He goes, it's good. It's a culmination rather of a cinematic arc. It was 2 hours and 40 minutes of a movie that felt short.
Yeah, like holy shit! When it got down to the end, I'm like, wait, has it really been 2.5 hours already?
Yeah,
like it's just like pop, 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 pop. Like it moves so fucking quick. The pacing on it is insane.
The pacing's pretty good. I mean, and with the fact you could tell by the trailers, you have different groups of Avengers. You don't always have everyone on screen at the same time. So if you get to a group you care about a little bit less potentially, I see where it could feel slow at that point. However, when I was with those different groups, there wasn't a moment I was like, I don't care about these guys and got bored. It was more of, holy crap, what are they going to do now?
Well, plus, and all the groups were mixed. Like, it wasn't like just the Guardians with themselves. Like, every time you entered a group, the group dynamics were being thrown off because there were new characters introduced. And then I also loved that they peppered the comedy throughout it. Like, it wasn't Taika Waititi's Thor Ragnarok, which was almost a damn comedy with some fights in it. This was a movie with a lot of fights where they gave you just enough jokes to kind of let you catch your breath in between. Like, the pacing and the comedy timing on it were fucking epic.
Well, and I felt like they did a good job of keeping Thor in line with the developments he had in Thor Ragnarok and keeping him sort of light, but also having to deal with the tragedy that Thor has to go through. And there's only so much I can say about that with keeping spoilers out of it. But you could tell from all the previews, there's a lot of tragedy that's going to befall Thor.
Okay, can we talk Dinklage? Is that a spoiler?
Yes, that's a spoiler. We can't talk Dinklage.
Damn it.
What? How is that a spoiler?
We know he's in the movie, but they made a point.
He's in the movie.
They made a point of not saying who Dinklage was going to play prior to the movie coming out because they wanted it to be a surprise for folks. I don't want to ruin that surprise for anyone. Like
thank you, Marvel. Thank you, Marvel, for letting Peter Dinklage be who he was in this movie because it's fucking awesome. When he heard that idea, he must have fucking loved it.
Yes,
he must have thought.
Sailor Poland brought up a good point too. He goes, "Don't forget, we've only seen half a movie technically at this point in time."
Yeah, it's totally half a film. It's almost all set up. It's awesome. On my tablet, I've been rereading. They have for anybody that wants to know, if you haven't read the original Infinity Gauntlet, which is the somewhat basis of this movie, they have it on Comixology right now for $4 for the 6 issues of the original series. So I'm rereading the actual old school Infinity Gauntlet, and man, the start of that is so different. But yeah, it has that feeling to it, which they did really, really well.
I'm trying to think of what else I can say, still
Space
keeping
pants.
spoilers out of it. I'm trying to be very careful because I didn't get spoiled going in, and it was a great experience. I don't want to be the reason that someone has that experience ruined going in themselves.
And spoilers are already popping up big time in memes on Twitter, on Facebook,
YouTube.
If you have not seen it, avoid the hell out of social media. You probably shouldn't even be listening to this. But if you are and you're still haven't been spoiled, get to the theater as soon as you can, because there are things that happen in this movie that if somebody spoils it for you, it won't ruin it. Like, it's still a fantastic film, but it will ruin possibly your reaction to it.
Yes, and I did enjoy the odd pairings they had there of characters. Stark and Strange on screen together was really fun. I loved Rocket and Thor's interactions. I thought that were great.
Was good.
And there's some conversation that Thor and Rocket have early on that then at the end of the movie you're like, oh shit. Oh shit.
Oh yeah, and for Faye in the Fantasy Comic League, Okoye and Natasha together, Black Widow and the Black Panther Warrior Queen kicking some ass with some staffs and combat hand to hand together. That they were awesome. Like there's so many good fight scenes in this movie too. Like the fight choreography was fantastic for, hey, we're going to introduce a new villain and throw them at 4 people, and see what happens. And like, damn, some of the fights were impressive.
It's a very solid movie. It's fun. There are moments you're like, oh, I remember when this happened. There are genuine shocking moments that I never would have predicted, where I was like, how the hell did that happen? There's characters I never expected to see that I was like, oh yeah, you existed. I forgot all about you. And then there's some big reveals on characters that I won't touch on until we spoil it. But there are moments where literally you could hear the theater just when something would happen.
There were some serious callbacks.
Yes.
And you gotta love a movie franchise that'll do a 10-year callback. They're like, hey, we have 10 years worth of 18 films to call back on, and we're still building. So enjoy the ride.
Willie, what'd you think about it? You've been kind of quiet. Anthony, I've been gushing. You've been just kind of listening.
I'm just fine. I'll just spoil everything. I don't know how to without it.
Yeah,
it is hard to talk about it without spoiling.
It's half a movie, though. I got no feelings toward it. Until I see the second half.
I will say this, and it's not a spoiler, and don't go any deeper. My Soulstone theories were all wrong. that I personally
everybody's
had.
was.
I don't think anyone got the Soul Stone theories correct.
I will say bullshit on that one.
Yeah, let's just leave it at that. We can't touch on that anymore until next week.
Bullshit.
Bullshit.
House of bullshit.
It's
Yeah, I don't think I heard any theory that matched that one. So
Yeah.
if there was one, I don't remember reading it. I'm not saying there's not somebody out there that got it right,
So
but
this
yeah,
is your chance, guys.
I didn't
if you
read
haven't
one.
seen the movie yet, we've pretty much said all the Soul Stone theories were wrong. So come up with your own right now.
There you go.
And
There
see
you go.
if you can get it right between now and then. And for
No,
the
you're
love
going to
of-
be wrong.
Yeah, for the love of God, you guys all know you need to stay through the entire movie to see the Marvel end credits. Here's the thing. And I'm not going to spoil what it is. Sometimes they're just funny little laugh moments, or you get a moment like Spider-Man Homecoming where they troll you a little bit. No. The end credits scene here is important to plot development. Stay and watch it. It's setting up something that's going to happen big in Avengers 4.
I don't know about that.
I can't say any more about why that is the case right now, Willie, but we can talk about it post-show, because I don't even want to hint at it and ruin the surprise for anyone who hasn't seen the movie.
I'm not going to say it either. I don't think it's like a big plot development moment. I think you're wrong on that.
I was also it'll be fun next week. We'll have to guess, because it's weird that the Russo said they can't name Avengers 4 yet, because that gives away something in Avengers 3. And so I'm really wondering what they're going to use for the title of Avengers 4 that encapsulates what we saw, because holy shit.
Yeah. It's pretty great, guys. If you haven't had a chance and you enjoy the Marvel movies, go and see it.
Ooh, Avengers 4, you reap what you sow.
Yeah, who knows?
Avengers 4, we're fucked.
Yeah. Regardless, it's a fun ride, guys. We're not going to spoil it for you, but if you haven't seen it yet, be careful out there. Twitter, not safe. Facebook, not safe. Reddit,
Yeah.
not safe. Pretty much stay off the internet if you can until you have a chance to go and see it. YouTube is not safe, because I pulled it up today as I was watching some stuff this morning. It's like, every death in Marvel's Avengers Infinity War. Click here. And it was literally bootleg cams of all the death scenes from the movie. And I was like,
Ugh.
Jesus, people.
There's death scenes?
Yes. I
The
think we all knew
spoilers.
that coming in, though. But that's
So,
that's all we're going to say on it right now, because we don't trust ourselves.
Who dies? Who dies in all these videos?
Willie Nelson does.
Willie dies in every one
Willie
of the videos.
dies. In all of them.
Finally!
But I don't want to say anything else, because I don't want to inadvertently spoil something by not thinking things through. I think we've kept things vague enough that we haven't spoiled anything, that we've kind of teased folks and said, hey, it's really good. It's really good. Go check this out yourselves. If you do want to get spoiled on Avengers Infinity War, do not worry. The Gonna Geek Network is here to help you on that, because as I looked at the promo reads, there are 4 different promo reads, I think, that are spoiler-filled Infinity War discussions that are already up. So you can go
Jesus,
get
people,
spoiled.
it's the first week.
So feel free, go and check one of those shows out. I think Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. might be covering it right after us over on Geeks.live. So if you hang around for another 30, 40 minutes over on Geeks.live when they start, I believe they're talking Infinity War, though I'm not 100% sure. But the coverage is there. Tons of it on the Gonna Geek Network. There's 25 plus different shows on the network that cover a variety of things. Some of it that's not actually Avengers Infinity War. And each week we try to highlight one specific show, give you a little taste of it, and say, hey, guys, go check out this show. You might enjoy it. So, Willie, what show are we talking about this week?
I'm so debating, do I want to do a voice or not?
That's why I put this one in there for you.
I'm gonna fill this out a little bit. I'm gonna test the waters. If I just don't feel like it's working, I'm gonna stop it. I don't want to cause an international incident. This week, I'm talking about Game Life Balance Australia. Episode 57. Big Mailer. This week, the boys have not one but 2 featured games to discuss. And both feature insane amounts of Pepsi product placement. Because, hey, who doesn't like Pepsi? Besides Andrew I.C. Yoshimura. Also in this delightful episode, Rob has been watching more Tintin. AC got his eyes tested, and the lads discussed the 32-bit era game in night. Spoilers, Metal Slug is a great game. Plus, there's a quiz about Of Course There Is. Is that line right? Plus, there's a quiz because of. Oh yeah, I guess there should be a comma there. I think, but we're good. Back to you, Chris.
Well, thank you, and thank you, Willie, for regaling us with the tales of Game Life Balance Australia, the sister show of Game Life Balance US. Yes, we have both Game Life Balance shows on the Gonna Geek Network now.
Did I cause an international incident?
Probably.
No, Uncle Stabbo did that.
No, fair enough. But man, I would, more Tintin. Tintin, I don't know if they're talking about the movie. That movie was fucking awesome, and I heard they're making a sequel.
I don't know if they're talking about the movie or not, but there is a way to find out. Go to GonnaGeek.com, go to the network portion, and download the latest Game Life Balance Australia.
Because I want to know more about Tintin and Pepsi.
And Pepsi. So
Born in the Carolinas.
Well, looking at the time now, we are a little over an hour in. We get to talk some cool news stories. We get to talk about Avengers. So it is time for us to start wrapping things up. And how we do that is with a little segment called What I'm Into. It's our chance to share with you guys who are watching live or listening at a later date just what kind of geeky and nerdy things we've been getting into so that maybe, just maybe, you might want to check them out yourselves. So Anthony, kick us off. What have you been getting into?
My buddy's wife was out of town with his newborn, so yesterday I took my PS4 over to his house and we basically played Overwatch all day. So that was fun. I think I passed level 50 now. I think by the end of the night I was level 51 or 52. So yeah, we got a
baby.
We got a lot of matches done. Well, being is that it was a month ago that I got the game and I was level 10.
I remember my first beer.
Yeah, I've played a lot of fucking Overwatch in the last month. I got the house cleaned up a bit. I'm trying to think, what else have I been up to? I haven't really been doing much. I've been lazy. Yeah, I finished off some shows, got caught up on all my geek shows. I listened to a bunch of podcasts, and then I finally something I'd been wanting to do for a while. I had an Xbox sitting around that I never used, so I finally cashed in my Xbox 360 yesterday, all my games and all the crap along with it, and picked me up a refurb PS3. And for good reason. The Xbox was a gift from the ex-wife, so I didn't want it. And in the divorce, I lost my PS3, which normally wouldn't be that big of a deal. But she took the PS3 and the 1 or 2 games that she liked and left me with all of my games. So I still had all these fucking PS3 games that I want to finish that I still own. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to go buy me a PS3. So I've got all of those. I'd also caught on sale Mortal Kombat, the Complete Edition on PS3, because this is the one with Freddy Krueger. And so I just wanted it because this is the one with Freddy Krueger.
And was Jason in that, or was he not until the...
Jason's in the next one.
All right, that's right.
Which I have that on PS4. Yeah, so I bought this literally only because Freddy Krueger's in it, and it's still in saran wrap. So I've been waiting to buy a PS3 just so I can play it.
That's awesome.
And then, because I think I got it for like $10 on Amazon. And then while I was there, I went through and looked at the pre-owned games. And so I love the first prototype. It's another one of those open area games like Infamous. And I finally got the Infamous 2 Collector's Edition. So I got my nice Cole McGrath statue. I can play Infamous 2. And I also picked up for $5 Prototype 2. So I got that. I got Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2. Got that. And then, what I was talking about, being behind on games where everybody's kicking ass on God of War now. There was a game I heard a whole lot of people playing a long time ago. And so, I'm way behind schedule, but I'm finally going to play Red Dead Redemption because I got that as well for PS3. Yeah, so I got me a stack of like 20 PS3 games to get through. So until Spider-Man, there's really no reason for me to buy anything else because, I've got Infamous 2, I got Second Son, I got 3 new games, I got a stack of 15 old games I haven't finished. I got games to play. And then, the Fantasy League. And it looks like I just saw the estimates. I had been in first for the Fantasy Movie League because I chose Friday and Sunday, but they just redid the estimates. And now everybody with 2 Saturdays has jumped up above me for Avengers Infinity War, and I'm in third. So, right now it looks like Big Papa K's House of Fun has 193 million for the weekend. So, Avengers is taking all the monies.
Yes.
And then, we were starting the second season of the Fantasy Comic League. And I would like to be happy to say that I won the first season, but we still don't know because we still haven't gotten final points from last month. So I'm in first right now for the Danger Room, but I don't know if I ended up in third and Robert or Swampy took first or second, I may have lost the season. So I don't know how I did on my season yet. But we are heading into the end of the first round of drafts for season 2. And Robert left, and I got a new player in my league. So welcome to Kyle. And yeah, Danger Room is going. We got our drafting going. How's yours going so far, Chris? That's what I've been into.
We haven't even started. The first pick is out there for someone to make, so we're still waiting.
But yeah, that's what I've been doing. Lots of fantasy stuff.
Nice. I'll go next, and we'll let Willie wrap things up. I have been getting a lot of stuff done around my house other than going to see Avengers Thursday night. Then Friday I got home from work and I had to completely weed out the front flower bed of my house, get all the crap out of there, kill off some of the vinca vine that had come overgrown, kill off some of the shrubbery that had gotten overgrown. Once I did that, I put down a bunch
I care about that shit not at all, but it did look good.
Yeah,
it was a good photo you showed.
I had to put down a fresh rubber mulch and stuff like that because the old rubber mulch had washed away, and then had to plant some stuff in flower pots out front. So I had to be an adult Friday afternoon, get a bunch of housework done outside, and in between that also get some more grass seed down because my grass is finally starting to grow back after getting butchered at the end of last year by the lawn guys. So yay, that was my adulting stuff I had to do. The fun stuff I've been doing is because I didn't have enough copies of Rocket League already. I picked it up on my Switch also because why, I don't know, because I'm weak. I've been playing Rocket League on the Switch because it's real easy for me just to sit on the couch while something else is on TV, play Rocket League in handheld mode, and I'm having a lot of fun with that. And then they put a bunch of old original Xbox games up as backwards compatible that are also 4K enhanced. I found my old disc copy of Destroy All Humans that I bought in like 2005.
The original one?
The original
The first one?
A 13-year-old game.
I played the shit out of that.
I did too. I popped it into my Xbox One X, and I was playing Destroy All Humans a lot yesterday afternoon, and I was like, I love this game. It doesn't look terrible nowadays. I mean, you can tell it's an old game, but they did a good job of upscaling some stuff, and it's still fun. It's just the animations are off. It's a little pixely at times. But again, 15-year-old game that I'm breaking out and playing on arguably one of the most powerful consoles out there right now. And I'm like, why am I doing this? This is crazy.
Now, if my memory is correct about this game, isn't there also a thing in like the extras menu where you could watch Plan 9 from Outer Space or some old...
I think so.
Like B movie from like the 50s or 60s?
I think so. It's been years since I last played this game.
One of the out of copyright ones?
I think so, because it was on the PS2 version I had. I don't know, because I started watching it, and yeah, the bad thing is there's no pause, there's no rewind. It's just it plays, and that's it. So if you accidentally exit out of it, you have to start it over again.
It's a fun game. I've got some of my old Xbox original games I still had on disc that I hadn't quite gotten rid of because like maybe I'll fire up my Xbox 360 and play it. And most of them now they put backwards compatible on the one. So like Star Wars Republic Commando, Star Wars Battlefront 2, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, Knights of the Old Republic 2. Those are all backwards compatible on the Xbox One now. And I'm sitting here, I'm going, I've got all these new games I need to play that are going to look pretty with current day graphics and all that. And now I want to go back and play these games I loved growing up that are 15 years old. But I don't care because they're still damn good. Jade Empire also is one of them, too. I don't know if you guys ever played that one.
Oh, I have that.
Well, Centerpole says playing the old Xbox isn't bad because he's upscaling to play his Atari 2600 on an HD TV.
Nice. I salute you. I'd rather do that than buy this new Atari console that nobody knows anything about.
Including Atari.
Doesn't want to know about.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that's mostly what I've been getting into. Some video games, watching Avengers, cleaning my house, and having to be an adult. Willie, what have you been getting into?
So other than God of War, I've been to the theater this week. Not just for Infinity War, but for 2 other movies as well.
Oh.
Yeah, Monday I went to go see Super Troopers.
Nice.
2. Super Troopers 2. That was a pretty good movie. It opens up a little weird for me. I didn't really like the opening, but it is classic Super Troopers after that. And then I also went to go see Rampage on Wednesday.
Oh. Was it good? I kind of want to see it.
It was entertaining. I thought you already see it.
I haven't been to go see it yet.
It was entertaining.
It looks like just a popcorn movie. Don't go in there expecting the greatest thing ever, but you can have fun with it, kind of thing.
But I did see it in probably the best way, the D-box seat.
Ooh.
Where, oh my god, that was fun with Rampage.
Well, it feels like the rock's actually shaking you.
You goddamn right. And of course, I did watch, and I did watch Infinity War in D-box mostly because those are assigned seats.
Nice, yeah.
Because that's always like, oh, and I got some pretty good seats. So bam, it's like fuck you, everybody else.
I wish we had D-box here. Sadly, we don't.
There's only the one theater that has it.
Yeah, I'm jealous because we don't have it. But
Well, we have no IMAX close by. It's like an hour and a half away, and I still haven't gone to an IMAX.
yeah, that's an
theater.
hour away for me.
Yeah, it's either to Raleigh or to Charlotte, and they're both an hour and a half away.
Yeah, it's not worth. There's not many movies that are worth an hour and a half travel time ahead of for me. That's just me.
And hey, I want to say, Sailor Poland, Baywatch was a great movie with The Rock in it.
I
No,
have
it
it. I
wasn't.
just haven't watched it yet.
You need to watch it. It's good.
It was a
I was
movie with The Rock in
I
it.
was
It was not a
surprised
great
it was as
movie.
good. I'd say great. It was good. It was in. I thought it was funnier than Jumanji.
I had to burn some Voodoo credits I had, so I bought the unrated edition of Baywatch because it came with like a pizza I bought or something like that.
Better than Jumanji. I'm going to say that.
That's strong words there, Willie.
That makes me not want to watch Jumanji because I didn't like Baywatch.
Jumanji was great.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's my opinion.
And you know what they say about opinions, Willie? They're like asses, and almost everyone has one.
I
That's
thought it was
true.
assholes, but
Whatever. Mine was a little cleaner.
a little. Is it?
The phrase, I mean. Yeah, there was some context there that might have been bad.
I'm not even sure I got the context, but okay.
Chris has a cleaner asshole than you.
Yes, that's what I accidentally said.
Oh yeah, I guarantee that.
Because Willie's furrier.
Whoa, I don't know that.
That's what you get, Chris. That's what you get for phrasing.
I'm not sure. Let's test this theory.
No,
Chris,
no, no,
put it in your pants. Let's test this theory.
no. Let's wrap up
On
the
three.
show. No.
One, two.
Let's wrap up
One,
the show.
two, everybody turn your cameras off.
We're gonna wrap up the show before Willie takes his pants off anymore because
Please.
nobody wants to see that. So a big thank you to everyone who did join us today. We really do appreciate it. Don't forget we stream live every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over on Geeks.live, the streaming home of the Gonna Geek Network. We're also syndicated on Twitch, Mixer, Periscope, and another site that I can't remember off the top of my head because we try to stream everywhere and have those chat rooms work everywhere. So if you've joined us on one of those sites, thank you so much. You guys have any final thoughts for us as we wrap things up?
Go see Avengers.
Yeah, fuck your no spoilers. It was amazing when Thanos turned into Joe Pesci and started kneecapping everybody.
I gotta admit, Willie's right. It was pretty cool when he became Joe Pesci. There's really nothing else to say.
When you have the powers of a god, do what you want.
Yeah. Little G or Big G?
Yes.
Oh, Thanos is a big G.
It could be either.
The OG, you would say.
I like it. But on that note, guys, we are out of here. We will see you all next week, and until then, have fun. Bye, guys. Thanks for listening to this brand new episode of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. Don't forget, we'll be back next Sunday live at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over at live.atgnpodcast.com, channel 3 of the Alpha Geek Radio app, and over at our network home at gonnageek.com/live. If you have any feedback for the show, please contact us atgnpodcast@gonnageek.com, on our hotline number at 304-806-ATGN, or even better, go to Twitter and send us a message at ATGN Podcast. The music you've heard in this show is produced by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at incompetech.com.